In a world oversaturated with other people's opinions, what is needed now is more opinions! Alex and the Garbage Man! Here we are again. Another week has gone by. Has the world gotten better? Has it gotten worse? Is it really our place to say there are people on Facebook who will constantly post positive stuff to combat the negativity? Well, we're not those people. We're here to talk about everything that sucks. And if you don't like it, well then, fuck you. Hey, Nick.
Hey, Bundy, how's it going, my man? Yeah, it's always funny when we start the shows, we start kind of sending ideas back and forth. We're like, oh, man, this could be a slow week. And then all of a sudden Tuesday happens and it's just rose up news stories on us.
Yeah.
And we go from, I don't know if we're going to have enough shit to talk about, to, okay, if we can get to all this shit, we're going to get to this shit. If not, well, I guess we're not going to talk about it. So, yeah, but that is a great problem to have. Don't get that twisted. I mean, that is a real good problem to have. So, yeah. So, where do you want to start in this list of kerfufflery?
I want to start.
You go. Yeah.
Way back in the day, a long time ago in a galaxy not so far away, about 2 weeks ago in the first episode, when you asked me if I knew of any songs that were better, the cover versions were better than the original, and I didn't have an answer for you at that time. Well, I have an answer now. So There's this guy, his name is Van Morrison. You may have heard of him. He did songs like Brown Eyed Girl and, other stuff that I don't remember because I wasn't a big fan.
I was going to say Brown Eyed Girl remix, Brown Eyed Girl part 2. Yeah.
So he did a song called Crazy Love, and I listened to it. It was all right. But the cover version is by a Canadian artist named Harry Manx. Harry Manx is a guy who was born in, I think it was Toronto area. And then when he was 20, he went to Japan and India. And then when he came back to Canada, he settled on Salt Spring Island. And I think he's been there ever since. He's a really good and talented artist. And he did a cover of Van Morrison's Crazy Love. And the tones of the two songs are quite different. Lyrics are the same. I like the Harry Manx version. I think it's the better version.
I'm actually going to look them up now. I've got Van Morrison's. And then the other one was by who? Sorry? What was his name again?
I'm going to put it up on...
Okay, there you go.
Harry Manx. So I got it on the ticker running along the bottom.
Harry Manx.
Go for the studio version, not the live version. I first heard this on CBC Radio 2 out of Victoria, and I fell in love with it immediately. Now, if you notice the difference in the tone between the two songs, and you like the cover version better like I do, well, then maybe you've learned something about me.
So, sorry, go.
Because I'm not a guy who will put his whole life on Facebook, if you've noticed.
Shit. So speaking of life, so me and Nathan Blackletter started talking again.
Nice.
I got his number, I think, in the summer. I didn't get a chance to see him, but we've been talking through text. And I happened to say, hey, if you're bored, me and Alex have a show on. So he's actually watching because he said, Girl You Want, originally by Devo, but Soundgarden did it better.
Oh,
so,
interesting.
Hi, Nate. I did think of another one. You said Canadian. It popped in my head. They're both Canadians, but Bruce Cockburn's Lovers in a Dangerous Time. I think Bare Naked Ladies did it way better. Lovers in a Dangerous Time.
Oh, yes, I remember that. Yes.
And I forgot all about it till you said the Canadian one. Oh, shit, Bare Naked Ladies and Bruce Cockburn. So, and I mean, I know things have changed. Things are way different now than they were back then, but
Mhm.
His name totally says Cockburn. Like, you figure he would at least drop the CK and put an H in there or something. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
he's going to get canceled for digitally manspreading his misogyny.
Okay, so before we get into like the really stupid shit, this is just gonna be the tiny little bit on wrestling because I wanted to get Alex's opinion on a guy who used to watch wrestling, and if he read this now, what his thoughts would be. So back at WrestleMania 14, the main event was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Shawn Michaels with special enforcer Mike Tyson. Okay. That was the main event in 1997, 98. I'm not
Okay.
looking right now, but that was the time. Okay.
Yeah.
AEW, the new upstart company that, we're going to not be WWE, just had their main event last night on their show. Chris Jericho versus Dax Harwood with Mike Tyson as their special enforcer. So now you, as a guy who was a wrestling fan, and when you read that, what would be the first thing that came to your mind?
Haven't we seen this before?
And that's the worst thing you can do in sports entertainment, correct? Right? If you're gonna take old fans and be like, oh, we're gonna use old shit that hasn't. My camera's getting all wonky. Huh.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Maybe you should turn it off and turn it back on again. I don't know.
You know what? I love this story. Back when you used to have to do the internet, like was your phone line. So my phone line, it wasn't working, right? My internet. And bless her heart, this young East Indian lady who is on the phone talking to me says, well, did you try to turn around your phone line? And I'm like, what? So can you take out your phone cord, your phone line, and flip it around and plug it in the and I couldn't have like, bitch, this thing doesn't have a one-way valve on it. Like, what the fuck is your problem? But yeah, that was her thing. That's what she thought she, would fix the problem, was turn my phone line around. But anyways.
I've heard other people say that, and I have no idea why that would change anything, because you figure the heads on either side would be the same. It's not like there's an in and an out, or a positive and a negative, or a reverse and counter reverse, or anything like that. The only thing I could think of with regards to cables, especially Ethernet cables, is the quality of cable. And now I got the cable right in front of me, but I can't remember what the designations are. But there are faster or more efficient cords that are bundled tighter.
Dude.
Yeah.
But I'm not even talking about Ethernet. I'm talking about a phone cable. Like the old, you plug your hardline telephone into the wall.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Not an Ethernet cable. That's what she was saying. And don't get me wrong. I would love, you would really like to hope that when you buy that cord from the dollar store, that the one you buy from, say, a Visions would hopefully be better. Though I've heard many rumors that there's no difference between the two of them. I've read that places that there's actually not a difference between which is very upsetting to think, if I've spent all that money on cables and the dollar store cable is exactly the same.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm going to try something. I'm going to see if I put my camera over to, I'm going to shove my camera into another hole. I'll still be here, but just go ahead, Alex. Start reading some of the stories.
You said shove your camera into another hole. This is not going to be a colonoscopy, is it? Because the last colonoscopy I saw was George W. Bush, and that was during the Daily Show. I haven't watched TV. I haven't watched TV in years. Anyway, I have no idea why I can't comment on people's Facebook's comments, like Chantel and Trevor. Good evening to you both. I don't know what the hell is going on. I've changed the settings to public, so I should be able to go through my whole chat. Anyway, so there are a bunch of stories. Oh, good Lord, are there ever stories? Now, The world is getting worse, we hear every day because of crazy, crazy stories. And in a moment, I will share with you why the world is getting crazier and crazier. Woman shoots at Burger King employees over wait time at drive-thru, police say. This is from Fox 13, so they report, you decide, fair and balanced. Who knows? A drive-thru order turned violent Tuesday when a woman opened fire into a Memphis Burger King, according to Memphis police. And this was when? April 2nd. Like, what more can be said? I mean, just wait. Is the food that good that you have to get out and start opening fire because you're waiting? Like, we can talk about privilege and entitlement. Actually, I can't, but some other people can. But I mean, come on. Sure, if you're waiting there for 20, 30, 45 minutes, you might have a case, but that does not entitle you or give you the excuse to go shooting up the place. On the old show that Nick and I did, I used to make fun of newscasters who would talk in a certain way, because they do that if you listen closely, and I don't even know why, but they'll go shooting up the place like that. Just make fun of people like that. I don't understand why they do that. I still don't.
This here is the prime example of why things in the States need to change. And I always had more of an education when it came to weapons and whatnot, because this person should obviously not have a gun. If you don't know that shooting up a Burger King is not a good idea, you should not have a firearm. That's just on my high list of things that you probably should not have.
Yeah. Conservatives talk about guns being used as tools. Well, this is not the particular tool you want to use for this particular job or to solve this particular problem.
By all means, if you, we don't know. Does it say in the story, how much of a window we're talking here? How long did it take for them to get their food?
How long she was waiting for her food? That's it.
Yeah.
It does not give us a time.
Okay, don't get me wrong. If you're in the drive-thru for a half an hour, I could see you saying, look, you're giving me, give me my food for free, or give me, an apple pie or something. But, yeah. You're like, break yourself, fool! Really? Wow. Oh, wow. It boggles one's mind. It really does. Oh, cool. Do you want to keep going, or want me to throw that one up now that we just saw before we went?
Go ahead.
All right. So this just happened. I just saw this on the news right before we went on the air. And this picture sums up what's going on, the problems that we're having now. So there's been another shooting, and this isn't even the one that I think a lot of people know about yet. This was a young man in Chicago, and he was running away from officers. And before anyone starts, waiting for Brody to pop up here. So this young man here, so they just released a video that's graphic shooting of a 13-year-old boy. So the story is that it was Monday morning at 2:38 a.m. and that this video does show the officer chasing the young man, and they stop. The kid throws his hands up in the air, as shown by the picture here, and the cop still shot him. The officer that is could be heard saying, shots fired, get in the ambulance over here now. Stay with me, he says, bring a medical kit now. The Chicago Police Department said immediately following the incident that the kid had a gun in his hand. I don't know about you guys, but I know it's not a big picture, but everyone go look this up. I don't see a gun in that kid's hand. and his hands are in the air like this. Now, we did discuss this before we got on air, and the only thing I can say when it comes to this 13-year-old is, why are you out at 2:38 in the morning on a Monday morning? You know, like, the question that brings me is, where are his parents? Like, and this kid was with a 21-year-old before this happened. And the reason the cops were even in the neighborhood looking is because there was 8 shots fired. So this young man ended up, you know, dead over the snap decision of an officer. That you can see by the picture, the kid's hands are in the air. He's not reaching for anything. He's not like doing the John McClane. There's a gun on his back. I can't even do that. A gun back here taped. And, you know, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. You know, there's none of that. My opinion, and right now, maybe it'll change, but just seeing this cop should be held on murder charges. This kid's hands are in the air. And then the people are saying that, oh, he fled. Okay? Again, so I'm going to take this off now. Everyone sees this kid, his hands are in the air. We've all been 13 years old. Hell, up until in BC, till you were 19, you couldn't have beer on you. Didn't we all run from the cops? I think anyone here from Mackenzie, I'm not sure. I know myself is for one. I don't know if you had to run from the police at all. I know I did numerous times because we were drinking in John Doll. Yeah. You know, so we all ran. This kid's 13 years old, so let's say his parents are at home sleeping because they both have to work. Maybe he snuck out and he was running from the police thinking, oh man, I don't want to get caught. My dad's going to whip my ass. Right? So, you know, I don't know how anyone can justify. He's a 13-year-old kid. We're not talking about, you know, a big, huge human being, you know, that, you know, could Jackie Chan his ass, right? You know? Yeah, I think everyone hid in the bushes once. Yeah, Ryan ran funny. So I just ranted about that. So Alex, like, your opinion about this situation?
As usual, I want to give the political answer of, I need to know the whole story before I make any comments, because if I say anything out of turn, people are going to hold me accountable for it later, and then I'm going to be canceled. So we see one frame of that video. I'd like to see the entire video, because it could be that the moment that he has his hands up is the moment that the officer has her gun pointed and is right about to pull the trigger, because sometimes things happen simultaneously. Like with his hands moving up like that, it could be the sudden movement of doing that causes the officer to draw like a cowboy at high noon and just open fire. And you know how the media likes to kind of every once in a while bait people and give those clickbait headlines. This could be one of those, because that's only a single frame again. So I want to see the whole thing before I go any further. And I'm not going to make past judgments on anyone at this point. More information is needed.
Fair enough. Now, the one I don't think, well, actually, and again, the judgment seems to be out there now. People are learning. Are the gentleman that was shot in, where was Minnesota, wasn't it? Again?
Yeah, about 10 miles. Yeah, that's right.
10 miles from where George Floyd's trial was going on. And, you know, again, the argument's going to come up that he shouldn't resist. He should have just listened to orders. Okay, but at the same time, he was accidentally shot. It's like, she has said it. It's recorded. She said, "Oh my God, I thought I had my taser." Mm-hmm. This woman is a veteran of 24 years on the force. This goes back to what I've been saying for quite a while about officers, is that I think no more training is needed from the gentleman that had to shoot the guy in the back 7 times when he reached into a vehicle. It should have really only been 1 shot. Now this, where she doesn't know the difference between a taser and a gun. Whew.
It's another day, another officer involved shooting in America. What else can really be said?
There's nothing. I'm sorry. There's nothing.
We can go on and on about the police need more training. The police need more training. The police need more police. I mean, this is why some of them have such short time spans for training, because they need police out there on the street in America. So more police in training means they're training for longer periods of time, which means they're not out on the street quickly, which either may lead to more crime and less crime prevention because there are less police, or a cry that there are not enough police out there on the streets. There's no way to win. I mean,
you're right.
It's America. For the past 15 years, we've seen it just get exponentially worse with stories like this. And not every single day, but it's getting to that point. Although with COVID, there was a slowdown in stories about shootings.
Yes, there was. So, all right, let's move to some, like, I don't know, later topics. Ooh, this one kind of, I had to remember who he was, though. Mr. Bernie Madoff.
Oh, yeah?
I actually had to do a double take, like, Bernie Madoff. I'm like, oh, yeah, Bernie Madoff. Like, at first, I'm like, I thought Bernie Sanders, because I'm Bernie, right? And, yeah, so for the few people listening, I don't know if you remember, but Mr. Bernie Madoff was the guy who ran the largest Ponzi scheme in the history of America. Well, in history, doesn't say America, it says the history. Died Wednesday when he's serving a 150-year sentence. He was 82 years old.
Oh.
For decades he presented himself as a successful, trusted Wall Street kingpin, while secretly engaging in investment fraud, prompting his sentencing to the judge to condemn him and his crimes as extraordinarily evil. That's awesome. Died at 3 a.m. with terminal kidney disease and several other medical ailments. Well, that's what you get for being a fucking prick. Huh. Like, this is you know, when they send him off. Although the crimes Bernie were convicted of came to define who he was also a father, a husband, soft-spoken and an intellectual. Bernie was by no means perfect, but no man is. Oh yeah, no man is perfect. Like, you know, like I eat my wife's, like, you know, Oreos, or, you know, or like, you know, forgot to flush the toilet, or, you know, like ran a stop sign, you know, when no one was around. You know, I didn't come to a full stop, but this guy robbed people of their life savings.
Thousands of people.
Thousands of people. He's a piece of shit.
Yep. And it's not like someone else was directing him to do this. He did this consciously and of his own free will and his own thought process, that he wasn't being forced at gunpoint to do this. He chose to do this. He knew it was wrong, yet he did it anyway. Fuck him.
Yeah,
that should be on his tombstone. Bernie Madoff. Fuck him. And then you pour gasoline over it and light it on fire.
Oh, what the fuck is wrong with my stuff?
What? You froze. And I forgot to mention this earlier, and he's gone. All right. Well, now it's a solo show. So we're going to talk about movies for the next. No, we're not.
Yeah, so fuck him.
It's fuck him. Back on topic. Nice. I forgot to mention that your mic is off. Yeah, I got nothing. I can hear you through the computer itself, that microphone. Yeah.
Fuck off, Chad.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Ooh.
Yeah, back in the day when Scream was popular and we were partying, we would always say that. I'm gonna go get another beer. I'll be right back. Oh, it was great. Good times. I'm gonna share a quick story with you. Speaking of stupidity in America, not that one. Yeah, I know it. There's nothing happening right now. It's very yeah, here we go. Arizona passes anti-mask law after Republican argues masks weren't used to stop AIDS. This is a false equivalency, and you will soon understand why. So this is Arizona State Rep Joseph Chaplik, a Republican. I'm not going to hold that against him. I hate it when I see Facebook posts saying, "Yes, I can hear you now. Much better. Thank you." When I see Facebook posts that say, "Oh, this person is stupid," or "that person said something stupid," why? Because of their political identity and affiliation. It's because they're a liberal. That's why they're stupid. No, political ideology is not dependent upon intelligence quotient. That's simply another way of saying I'm right, and if you disagree with me, you're dumb and wrong. This is more childhood insults and schoolyard bullying that has nothing. Should have nothing to do with adults talking rationally among one another. But then again, if you're on the internet, there is very little of that happening. Anyway.
0.
0.0. So Joseph Chaplik, wearing a mask to prevent the spread of COVID-19 isn't needed because masks were not used to prevent the spread of HIV. Yeah, there were masks back then. They were called condoms. You know, to prevent HIV. Yeah. Oh my God. P said HIV was going to wipe our global destruction. It was going to wipe our global destruction of human bodies with AIDS. We heard about that in the 80s, yet no masks were required. Again, false equivalency, comparing the AIDS virus with the COVID-19 virus, not exactly the same thing. Yeah, face palm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we've discussed this before. Wow. You could tell him in the right mic though. No, it really was this. We all love Eddie Murphy Delirious.
Yeah.
But he said some shit in there that is just at the time is just it's not true. But that's exactly what this guy did by saying what he said. Like, dude, this isn't 1983 or 84 where you're ignorant and don't know how AIDS is transmitted. We know how it is transmitted. Yeah. And yeah, like you just like that's one of those things of you just set yourself back 3 decades, 4 at this point, because you said something that someone would have said back in the 80s, right? Like that's exactly what it that's right where my mind went to was the Eddie Murphy bit. So stupid. And these are people in power. Right? These are people that are in power, guys.
Yeah, you're right, Chad. People voted for that guy. Either they voted for him because they knew who he was or he had a good campaign, or it's simply because he was a Republican. There are all sorts of reasons. You can't pin it down to one thing or another. Yeah, people voted for that guy. A lot of politicians, especially in the last 10 years, have made similar stupid gaffes and comments that some of them have not been able to live down.
And hopefully this guy doesn't live this down. Because it's ridiculous. Yeah. Like this is ridiculous. So this is my favorite story of the week so far. This one is my favorite. And Alex found this one too. And this is absolutely amazing. Let me delete some things here. Man, I hate all the things that pop up when you bring a page up, just slow everything down. It's just like, okay, like I don't care. I don't care about Ritchie Brothers auctions. Like, I don't care. All right. Of course, I get a kick out of this. RCMP stops suspected drunk driver. Discover autonomous technology is in control. As if we didn't see this coming. I'm shocked we don't see more of it, to be honest with you. I realize a lot of people...
Sorry, I apologize for interrupting. Can you say that big long A word again?
Autonomous.
Have you been going to the Brody School of Word Pronunciation or what?
Yeah.
Autonomous.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
No, if I would have done it right, I would have said fucking Autobots or something.
That would have been even better.
So, a driver and their passenger found those. I gotta get my radio voice here. A driver and their passenger found themselves in a conversation with RCMP in the Vancouver Island city of Campbell River recently after police pulled over their car that was making erratic movements. Well, there's first problem. See, Optimus Prime fucker wasn't doing his shit right. How was it making jerky? Like, how was it not driving him properly?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they're made to do? Is drive, right? So
yeah, follow the lines. Yeah.
I wonder if it was just some faded paint so they couldn't follow the lines. But anyways, the authorities say they thought the vehicle was impaired, or the driver was impaired, when they spotted the unnamed car maneuvers awkwardly on the rural route of Willis Road on April 9th. But as they approached the duel in the vehicle, they learned that both humans were stone sober, and that it had been the vehicle's Autobot driving system that's causing the car to bounce between the lines in like a drunkard. Drivers need to understand that they are responsible for what their vehicle is doing. So they weren't drunk. Oh, so he was so. I wonder if they end up getting a ticket.
Well, considering what the officer said, that the drivers are responsible for what the vehicle is doing,
Mhm.
I would think that this could fall under reckless driving, because remember, in the last episode, we talked about police interpretation of the law is down to the
Yes, we did.
individual. This could be the same thing.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So now that's another sticky wicket, right? It's kind of like the whole thing that happened here in Alberta with photo radar tickets, because they couldn't give people tickets and like take the merits from their licenses, because the argument was, well, how do you know who's driving? If I lent my vehicle to you, Alex, and you got a speeding ticket, how can you take the merits off me? Or if the vehicle's in my wife's name and I'm driving like Toretto and get a couple photo radar tickets, why should that be on her, right?
Yeah, I think it's in that particular case, and I'm not sure if that's how it would be here in British Columbia. Whoever is paying the insurance, no, I couldn't even go into that.
Well, it's on the registry of the vehicle, whoever it's registered to. That's why they don't. Well, then they don't take points in Alberta. It's for that reason. So, but yeah, that's discovers it was, I'm surprised that there haven't been more people like drunk and pulled over with these cars driving them home.
Yeah, remember a few years ago, had to be 3 years ago now, there was someone who was driving in an autonomous vehicle. It was nighttime. They were on their phone because the camera was on them. They were on their phone, and for some reason, someone was trying to cross the highway, and the vehicle hit them head on, and that person died. Not the driver, the person who was trying to cross the road. The person
that was trying to cross the road, yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it makes you wonder, like, good Lord.
I would love for there to be a standardized law or regulation regarding autonomous vehicle driving, especially where I live, because there are so many stupid and reckless drivers. I mean, why can't you use a turn signal? It's so simple. But autonomous vehicles would follow all of those rules, as opposed to people who are in a hurry or emotionally unstable in the moment. I would rather have that than a bunch of idiots driving around like we have now.
Well, and I said it last week, and I'll say it again. You wonder why we don't have flying vehicles. This is why. This is, and I think I've told this story. me and my buddy Rob were going to get, because he set up his own miners for cryptocurrency. We were going to Calgary. He wanted to check some Best Buys to buy CPUs, right? I think that's what it is. So as we're coming into the city, this guy goes by us like, right? And of course it's Calgary, so the traffic gets backed up on the Deerfoot. And we're watching this guy go, like he's just, it looks like, remember the old kid game you used to play, like probably kindergarten, grade 1, where the stupid car that went and the screen moved, but the car stayed still and you could turn it side to side?
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah. That's what it looked like, right? So we get in behind him, right? We both end up on the same overpass. So this guy, again, I'm doing 100 into the city, okay? Maybe 105, 110. He blows past us. Okay, like, so we end up on the exact same, like, I'm only like a vehicle behind him coming up the off ramp, right? And then we turn and we're still only a few, and he's still driving like an asshole, right? And we pull into the same fucking mall parking lot, and Rob's like, dude, wouldn't it be funny if he's like going to Best Buy? Sure as shit, he was walking into the Best Buy. We beat him into the Best Buy because he stopped talking on his phone.
Wow.
And no word of a lie, this guy was doing, I live my life a quarter mile at a time. and we beat him into the Best Buy. It was fucking amazing. Yeah, because Rob said, wouldn't that be wild if you went to the same Best Buy? It was going to Best Buy, and sure as fucking shit, there he was.
I'm always amazed at people who speed and cut in and out of lanes, and then they end up at the same red light as I do, and I'm usually going under the speed limit. Like, if you're not on the highway, why do you need to speed? I mean, there are 2 lanes. You're not on the highway, so both lanes are required to follow the same 50-kilometer-an-hour speed limit, yet they feel the need to go weaving in and out of traffic. We both end up at the exact same red light at the exact same time. Yep. What did you accomplish?
Hey, I was that guy, and I don't truck anymore. When I was trucking, when I went through the Calgary on the Deerfoot, that's a really congested. I stayed in the hammer lane, fast lane, whole way. You can get as mad at me as you want. I got the finger. I got flipped off. This speed limit on this road is 100. If you want to do 130, 140, that's your prerogative. I'm staying in this one lane because I know what I got to deal with. One asshole cutting in front of me, not 2 zigzagging all over the fucking place.
Yeah. In BC, the furthest left lane, depending on where you are, of course, is the HOV lane. That's here in the city. Mm-hmm. The lane beside that, that's the passing lane. The next lane is like a constant speed lane. So if you're going up to the speed limit, stay in that lane. You want to pass, you go in the left lane. Then the HOV lane is the other lane. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no HOV lane in Calgary.
Yeah.
So, but the other one that gets me is when you leave Tabor, heading towards Lethbridge. So when you're heading west.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Speed limit is 110. Okay. I usually do $120, $115, $120, depending on the day, right? And you always get these guys that fucking 140, 150, right? And there's a little town in between Tabor and Lethbridge called Coaldale. And you always catch them there because there's 2 stoplights there. So they do like 140 and 150. And yeah, you get to the light, and there they are. Maybe a vehicle or 2 ahead of you. That's it. And then right when you get into Lethbridge, there's a pretty long stop there because the 2 lane, like where the roads that cross there are pretty busy. You usually catch them there, and they did 150 all the way there. You did, 115, 120. And I'm like, oh, hey, like, look. And it's always, and I know it's always a guy in the truck, the jacked up truck. Like, all I think about, and this is actually not even the old man in me, because I thought about this shit even when I was younger, was, man, that's got to be expensive for gas.
Yeah.
When you're driving to a big truck, like not a little like S10 like your dad had, or just like a little 4-banger or something. These guys are driving the huge fucking diesels. And it's like, man, the first thing is, man, it's got to cost a lot of money to drive like that. Especially with diesel. I don't know what diesel is now. I know fuel here is $1.21 now. So,
oof.
Yeah, I don't know what. And we're in Alberta, bitch. Like, we're an oil country, and we're paying $1.21 for fuel. Good Lord.
The audience is just riveted at this point because we're two old guys talking about other people driving. What have we become?
Yeah, what have we
You know?
become? Good Lord, what have we fucking become?
I'll tell you what we shouldn't become, and I'm going to share this screen again. 169 where Trevor is. Trevor is in Edmonton, if I remember correctly.
See, which is ridiculous because they have a refinery there. And their argument is always, well, that's why gas was expensive in Vancouver or Mackenzie. Well, we have to transport the fuel to get there. Bitch, you're in Edmonton. There's a refinery there. Gas should be like 13 cents.
Yeah.
Right by their logic.
They should have a pump at the refinery and you just drive up to it and pay a quarter.
Well, and that's the funny thing is when like at the gas station and the fuel prices will jump all of a sudden. Oh, the barrel oil, blah, blah, blah. No, hold on. This stuff was already refined and in your big tanks. This shouldn't be going up. Now, you want to charge me in 3 weeks from now, like this was the oil that, okay, cool, I kind of understand that, but this stuff's already here, bought and paid for by you guys. Fuck you.
Yeah. But
anyways.
there's a whole political world as to why gas prices are what they are. And I haven't done any research into that.
Not enough just to rant. So anyways.
Yeah. So Canada facing growing radicalization risk over COVID-19 lockdown. So if you're frustrated about having to wear a mask, you're frustrated about your premier having imposed restrictions due to the provincial health officer, the last thing you want to do is become a white supremacist or an extremist. Now, this sounds like common sense, but considering the rise of this kind of stuff, maybe you should put some thought into it. You know, growing risk of terrorism from incels, white supremacists, and anti-authority extremists. Come on, guys, it's just a mask. Oh, but then they come up with, first it's a mask, then they're going to take your guns, then they're going to burn the books, then they're going to put you into the trains and take you to the camps. Everyone, grab your toboggans. We're going down a slippery slope. What? No?
Oh.
No.
Damn. I did my evil laugh for nothing?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure I can clip it out later and use it for something strange.
Fine.
This is becoming a real problem. Yeah, it is becoming a real problem. David McGinty, chair of the committee behind the unanimous report. Well, a new report, which I'm not going to read, but it's an annual report from last year. I simply wanted to mention this because like I said, if you're frustrated about the pandemic and the restrictions, the last thing you want to do is join some extremist group. Like, what is that going to do aside from getting you on a list that's going to be watched by the CSIS, the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, and the NSA? I mean, why? Why? Like Joe Biden said. Yeah,
it's not going to end anything, right? No, it's not. You're not going to do anything.
I understand people's frustration, and I understanding them wanting to vent their frustration, but turning to these extremist groups is not a good idea. Then again, if someone's going to say, well, I'm part of a Facebook group and we're not extremists, you got a point, but case by case basis. Now, it'd be nice if the RCMP could release a list or at least define what extremist is instead of saying, oh, they're all extremist groups, because blanket statements don't help anyone or anything.
Not at all. And we've been down that before. It doesn't help anything or anyone. That is completely correct. You know, well, they said that about the Juggalos. You know, like the ICP, like that they're a terrorist organization or something. Like, well, I'm not into their music, but you know, to call some kids that just put paint on their face and they seem like a pretty tight community, you know, terrorists is, I think, a pretty far fucking stretch.
Yeah, wasn't it the FBI classed them as a terrorist group or something?
Yep.
It's just stupid. The carnival is God. We've always been behind him. Oh, the big reveal.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. Fuck. God, we have a lot of shit to go through.
If we want. Yeah.
Did you talk about the one with the the mom with the gun one of the probably the first one I actually sent. It was Sunday morning at 7 or 10:40. So
The mom with the gun. I think you have to
Yeah.
be more specific.
well, I'm going to share it.
Okay.
So this was the picture I saw, and I'll admit I am a crazy motherfucker who likes seeing some gory shit sometimes. And I was like, all right, I'm going to check this out. Let's see what it is. So here is the picture that I see. Oh, blocked sensitive material. All right, cool. It's blocked. Okay, well, maybe we're going to get some dismemberment. We're going to get some, like a severed head, a motorcycle accident, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Take your time.
Oh, it's going to a video.
Oh, it is going to the video. God damn it.
No.
Oh, no. Why is that
Does
playing?
anyone want to watch this again? No.
I always want to watch this. What the hell happened? Why did it go here? Oh, there it goes. Hey, wow. That scrolled back really far. So there it is. So here's what I wanted. I don't know why I went there. That was the picture that they thought needed to be blanked out. There was sensitive material. So a mother is showing her child who is actually wearing hearing protection and whatnot, how to fire a gun that is sensitive material.
Okay, is there of course there's no reasoning as to why this was deemed sensitive material. Yeah. Someone just flagged it as such.
So I'd like to meet the person that thinks that's sensitive. I'd like to hear, and that would be the thing. I would want to hear the argument, like why you believe that picture is sensitive.
Well, you and I have a mutual friend who we've known for years. His name is Chris. I think with regards to his views and his politics, he might have a decent counter argument to that and a reason why. I would love to hear it from him. Like, I don't agree with everything he posts. However, that does not mean I'm going to unfriend him or talk trash about him or insult him, because he has his own point of view, and I can see why he has his point of view. A lot of the stuff he posts, I do agree with, but I would like to hear from someone as intelligent and reasoned as himself why such a thing might be considered sensitive material. But I don't think he watches the show, so we'll never know.
FYI, I don't talk to him anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll explain later.
All right. We learn something new every day.
Yeah.
We're not here to talk trash about people. We're here to talk trash about the world itself.
Yeah. Oh, here's what I wanted. I actually wanted to get, some opinions on. So this has been a long-standing issue. Oh, they always play the videos that slow everything down. Always got to do it. Okay, don't show this again. I get it. Good Lord. So we got to play a big video. Okay, can we just pause the video? Thanks. So, Simpsons actor Hank Azaria feels he needs to apologize to every Indian for Apu. So, it's practically a slur at this point, he says, of what the character represents. So, Hank Azaria, who of course voices quite a few characters on The Simpsons. One of those was Apu. He was recently a guest on Armchair Expert podcast, and he discussed several topics, including the lessons he's learned from playing the controversial Apu Nahasapatapedal on The Simpsons. The long-running Indian character on the iconic Fox cartoon came under fire recently, including a 2017 document, The Problem with Apu, due to the character's racially stereotypical behavior, compounded by the fact that he's voiced by a Caucasian actor. Azaria told podcast host Dax Shepard and Monica Padman that he took time to learn about what people were feeling, taking several seminars and understanding why the character is problematic before stepping away from the role. The actor shared several examples of the interactions that had deep impact on him. I was speaking at my son's school, and I was talking to the Indian kids there because I wanted to get their input. as Arian said. A 17-year-old, he had never seen The Simpsons, but knows what Apu means. And it's basically a slur at this point. All he knows is how the people are thought of and represented to so many people in this country. So the first problem I have with his story with the young man is I've never watched the show. So if the kid had said I used to be a fan, but I just got tired as I got older, I realized I'm not really, this is kind of insensitive. I probably would have been like, okay, and I can understand that. I mean, I could see, but does that not fall into the realm of what we've talked about so many times before about just reading a headline and going with it? The Simpsons make fun of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And, I could see now how you can say, okay, that's not cool. I don't want to do it anymore, and moving on from it. But I don't think it's a racial slur. I mean, fuck, the guy like Dan Cass, I can't even say his name. The guy that does Homer also does Willie. Do you hear any Scotsmen screaming and yelling about the way, and look at how Willie is portrayed.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. I think, again, this, and I'm not just trying to pick on this kid for what he said, but this is what we find a lot of problem are people don't have their own, I don't know how to say it. They haven't done their own quote unquote, I guess, research and watched the program. But okay, this is why this bugs me. This is why I don't like it. I haven't watched the program, but this is what I'm being told happens, and I don't like it. It's kind of like the whole thing of, well, we talk about this all the time about people just reading a headline and going off the headline, and then the headline actually was just your clickbait, right? So, that's why I wanted to read the article. I get that he's learned it's not, but have to go through seminars and stuff. I don't think Hank Azaria never did that role in thinking that, yeah, I'm going to show these Indians that I'm an asshole and F them, and it was a character. And we've talked about this before about people playing different characters, right? Shows have budgets. And if you found a voice for every single person, everybody in the show, when you have to pay 50, 60 actors because you don't want anyone to get mad because someone's portraying a voice of someone else, shows get canceled. Shows stop being made because they can't afford it anymore.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's just my thing about it. Apu's had his moments, like when he's on top of the Quickie Mart. Thank you, see you in hell. It's and who needs the Quickie Mart? Everyone loved the Quickie Mart song. So, I don't know. So, that's my opinion on it. And Alex, I'd love to get your opinion on it.
Sometimes, well, all the time, you cannot control what the culture will do with a piece of fiction, Apu being the one in question here. So The Simpsons creates Apu, Hank Azaria voices it, they put it out there. Now, people will do what they want with it. Like the white supremacist groups have adopted, hand signals and stuff. And now we can't use those hand signals because if you do, you're associated with white supremacy. Well, with Apu, what some people did was they turned that into a slur. They turned it into an insult. So I can understand why Hank Azaria wants to step away from it, because you can't separate the character from the slur, like the stigma now that's associated with Apu. You can't take them apart once they've been put together. So I can understand him saying what he said, taking the classes and saying, okay, I'm sorry. So he owned it, he owned up to it, and he's taking responsibility. So I applaud Hank Azaria for doing that, like doing the right thing in this day and age. I think that's a step in the right direction. So good for you, Hank. So we kind of...
I'm just reading what Chad said. So like, he hasn't watched the show, but he knows what Apu means.
Yeah, again, if the guy who commented on it has never watched The Simpsons, but he's heard a poo and he knows what it means in terms of an insult. Like if he gets called a poo and it's from The Simpsons, it means this and this and that. Again, that's the culture taking that piece of fiction and turning it into what they will and then spitting it back. And then the creators of that character, they can't really do anything to change that, what the culture has done with it. So again, it becomes a stigma.
So is this kind of what Jim Jeffries said was, okay, this show started back in 1989. This was the line. This is the line. And now it's 2020. Well, this was 2017, but I guess this article is newer. So, but now you guys have decided the line is back here now. Because, comedy always pushed the line, right? They'd always, especially like, no, I'm not talking like South Park, because South Park doesn't give a fuck. Like South Park is, you can keep moving the line back. We're just going to keep going this further away from the line.
Yeah.
So like Jim Jeffries said, we'd always get to that line, right at that line. But that's where we'd stop. And there's a lot of stuff about The Simpsons. Like, there's a lot of gay stuff in there. Like, they're making gay remarks. Like, nowadays, it's like, whoo. Like, you couldn't say this stuff anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But this is where the line was. And now the line's back here. Now, I'm not saying that, like, as long as the character stays in there, it's like, this show was created 20 years ago, or 40, well, what, 89, right?
Yeah.
30 some years ago. So, yeah, I know. That's actually kind of where I was going with that, with that, Chadney. Ralphie May said that. Fat people, it's the only group you can make fun of now. Fat bastard. He thinks the baby, he thinks the little midget's a baby. Get in his belly. Oh, fuck, I think he farted. Yeah. I've said this and I've shared this before. Go listen to the bit. This is back in 2008. Ralphie May, I think it's fat bastard. And I can't remember, like, Biddy, that's how he starts about it. And then he's like, imagine if they had a character and that pointed out every, like, a race's or person's inequality and his self-consciousness. And he calls black bastard. And he says all this stuff, that the stereotypical things that people say about black people. He's like, yeah, no, that shit wouldn't happen because fucking Oakland would burn like the Raiders won twice. And then he says Mexican bastard. Oh, no, you didn't. I'll fucking cut you, man. And he lists all the shit. Yeah, you can't do that. But you could say everything you want about fat people. That's actually, I won't say that, Chad, because it is actually, it's fat women that, if you say something about a woman and fat shame, if you will, you're a piece of shit. But I don't think a lot of the things are dudes that get, I don't hear a lot about guys getting fat shamed. You hear it every once in a while, I guess.
Every once in a while. But yeah, if I remember correctly, it's mainly women who are part of the fat acceptance movement. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, fat acceptance, against fat shaming, those terms have come to the fore in recent years. Mm-hmm.
So like Jonah Hill's lost a lot of weight.
Oh yeah.
And someone caught him with his shirt off. And of course everyone's fucking, making fun of him. And it's like, fuck, I wish I could find every one of you, punch every one of you in the fucking mouth. Because you have no idea what it's fucking like. Yeah. To not want to take your shirt off. Like I don't care anymore. Fuck, I've been at the swimming pool and kids will stare at me and go, yeah, I know I got tits, pretty cool. Like, I don't
come over here now. And I'll hit you with them.
I don't care now. Fuck, it was one time there was a special needs kid at the pool. He thought I was the Big Show.
Oh, nice.
He literally was like, I saw you on wrestling, Big Show. And like, he thought I was the Big Show because I was bald with a goatee. It was fucking great. Yeah. And the lady's like, thank you for playing along. Hey, it's not a problem, right? Like he thought I was the Big Show. But yeah, Chad, sorry, but I kind of went off there. But like, as long as the poo character doesn't disappear, because what are you going to do? Well, I guess you can kind of write them off, but then there goes a big part of The Simpsons because they always go to the Quickie Mart. Mm-hmm. Are you going to kill off Apu? The guy's got 8 kids and a wife, like, what are you going to do? Right? So I just, everybody's so fucking sensitive about shit. And again, like there's so many guys playing different characters in there. Should everybody get in an uproar about the different characters that other people are playing?
It sometimes boils down to what is the intention or purpose of the character, if there is one. Why are they saying what they're saying? And it's sometimes people who rail against that are people who, and this is not everyone who rails against what's going on in media and on the internet nowadays, but some people just want to create enemies. They want to have something to fight against. So they have to sometimes make things up entirely or twist people's words just so they can point at that person and say, you're this, you're this, you're that, just so they can take out frustrations on someone or be the victim or be the hero or whatever it is. I don't understand why they're creating division and going out and not spreading hate, but they're creating enemies. Why?
And it's like they get off on it. Like there are people that just seem, just to get off on that stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. It was a stand-up comedian who was on Joe Rogan at least 2 or 3 years ago now. He used to be an SJW, and he would get up in the morning and he would groan and have to look at his Twitter.
Yes, I can't remember the guy's name.
Yeah, who do we have to hate today? Is what he was saying.
Yeah, who was that, Chad? And then they turned on him. Me and Chadney have talked about this. The guy was a social justice warrior, and they turned on him. He did something, yes. And I remember that because it was like, they ate their own.
Oh, Jamie Kilstein.
There it is. Thanks, Chadney.
I'll take your word for it.
But that's the thing. No one gets mad. And I don't care because he played that's the point. He played a good character. Neil Patrick Harris played a great, a good character. He was awesome in Harold and Kumar.
I thought you were going to say Gone Girl.
No. But then it's like, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. He was hilarious in it. I didn't like How I Met Your Mother. I didn't really get into it at all, but I have, a lot of people like the show. So that was the whole thing with, Breaking Bad. We talked about this before. What's his name? Holy shit. The main character.
The lead actor, Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston, when he plays the quadriplegic with Kevin Hurt's in the movie. And people are up in arms. Why didn't you hire a quadriplegic? He's Bryan fucking Cranston. He's playing a part. And, again, this comes back to, and again, I go back to Jim Jeffries because he talks about it with his show. He wanted to, when he had his show legit, he wanted to use a real special needs person. But they can only work a certain amount of time in a day because that's like the union thing with acting. Mm-hmm. So if you would have got a quadriplegic to actually play the role that he played, Bryan Cranston, it would have taken forever to finish the movie because the guy can only work for so long.
And like you said, budgets. Yeah,
and that's what budgets. People seem to forget that. But yeah, see, that's the thing with and it's not just the left; it's the left and the right. They eat each other. If it's amazing.
It's that old observation that the people on the right call the people on the left pedophiles, and the people on the left call the people on the right Nazis, and it just goes back and forth.
Yeah, and that term Nazi bugs me.
Yeah,
it does. Like,
I mean, can I ask you, because you have a shaved head, have you ever been called that?
Not to my face.
Okay, but when you're gaming online, of course.
Actually, I get called way worse online.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think I might get this story wrong, but I'm almost positive that the beloved owner of Tai Theater, I had just started shaving my head. So this is when it was still open. So I think it was 18 or 19 when I started shaving my head. A bunch of other people had shaved their head too, right around the same time, younger guys. And one of them was Julian Pelon did, and there was a couple other guys in that group that did. So the lovely owner of Tai Theater said, I gotta ask, did somebody get cancer? Or I'm like, no, why? Well, there's a bunch of you guys that started shaving your heads, so no one's got cancer. Are you guys Nazis?
Oh no!
But this is back in. But this, you got to think. Okay, things are really different now. Nobody shaved their head back then. Yeah. There was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. That was it. There wasn't a lot of bald guys like Bill Goldberg, the Stone Cold knockoff. That doesn't get a Brody respond. I guess he didn't watch today, but but yeah, I remember her saying that in the front of the theater to me, and no, I just wanted to shave my head. That's but I have never ever, no one's ever said that to me.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, communist too. Yeah.
You know, a lot of people on the right in America will use that term, and they'll use it interchangeably with socialism.
Mhm.
You're a socialist. You're
That's
a communist.
the other one. Yep.
They're not exactly the same thing. I mean, parts of our healthcare system here in Canada are socialist, but that doesn't make us socialists or communists.
Mm-hmm. But see, that's go ahead. No, go.
It's just the name. They want to throw out the name. Insulting people is just as quick and dirty as making an unproven claim and just firing off those claims on the internet, because to refute a claim on the internet could take 20 minutes to refute one claim. Whereas in 20 minutes, you could throw out 30 to 40 claims that you don't have to prove. You just keep saying it louder and louder and more angrier. And apparently you're right when you do that.
Yep. And that like you said, that's the whole online gaming thing.
Yeah.
You're just going to say it louder and I repeat the same shit over and over and over. Yeah. Dotard. Dotard. I've heard dotard. I like slunt. Slut cunt. Slunt. I love that word.
We'll close off the Apu situation with that.
Oh, is that what actually happened? Hey, you guys are a couple dotards.
Don't call me that, you communist.
Yeah, you socialist. Yeah. I'm triggered. Fucking sheep. Bah! That's my favorite. That was like, that's my, and it, like how it was Brody that brought it up before, was all the people who are anti-maskers, like, you're all sheep. Well, you're just sheep eating in a different field, for fuck's sake. Like, we're all apparently sheep, like.
Yeah. Was it Dustin or Jagger who made the comment when they posted another video from the Tabor Freedom Rally? People were driving by and honking. There was one person who drove by, didn't honk, and someone from the rally pointed at them and said, they're a communist. Well,
I know exactly who that is too. Yeah, but that's their mentality.
Yeah.
That's not a communist. Like, because I think people like using that word, especially the communist word, because there's still memories of it from the 80s, and how the communist rallies and stuff. It's a scary word.
Mm-hmm.
It's a scary word. I actually and this is from 2017. I just seen the video. This is how crazy it was even down in the States back in 2017 with Donald Trump. Sorry, I just thought of this because people saying shit. You ever heard of the comedian John Caparillo?
Sounds familiar.
He's one of the redneck guys. Like he was like the new next generation redneck guys. But anyways, he's talking about monuments, like how they're bullshit. And like, he's like, the Washington Monument, it looks like a pencil. And he's like, some people say it looks like a dick, but no, I don't think they're saving that for Donald Trump. And everybody starts laughing. This is 2017. And this woman's like, fuck you, fuck you. And he's like, well, no, how about fuck you? And you can fucking leave. And she's like, yeah, fuck you, I am going to leave. He's like, yeah, and you can feel free to suck my fucking balls too. She hucked a fucking a glass at him. Wow. And this was back in 2017. I'd never seen it till today. I was like, holy shit. And I went, is this new? Because I like John Caparillo. And like, no, 2017. So throwing fucking glasses at each other. Or this woman threw a glass of, it's my sperm pad. It's my dad. No. What do you want? I'm still in the air. Yeah. Go have a shower. Well, we're almost done. Here, go shower. Bye. You got to step closer this way. Chicken shit. Yeah. All right, go.
Yeah, you don't want to be immortalized on the internet. Not right now.
Anyway. No, not yet. Anyways, yeah. So, well, what else you got? What else you want to do? I want to shoot. Shoot, bad, shoot, bad.
You shared with me a story about Jason Kenney talking about unhinged conspiracy theorists. Do you remember that?
Did
I'll
I?
pull. Yeah,
You have to
I'll
bring
pull
it up.
that
I got to
out.
go through this. I'm going through all the shit that we've sent back and forth.
So Jason Kenney blasts protesters for threatening Dr.
Oh,
Hinshaw.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to get a lot of shit done. Fuck. I'm trying to find it now on our feed. But go ahead, read it.
So provincial sheriffs estimated about 750 people gathered at the legislature on Monday to protest public health restrictions. Okay, you can protest the restrictions. There's nothing wrong with that. Some chanted "lock her up." Okay, the problem with not protesting, but thinking that a provincial health officer should be in jail because of the restrictions that they've recommended be imposed is that you should go to perhaps the Human Rights Commission. And this is on canada.ca. Depending on the nature of a complaint, it may be filed in a court through a specialized body created to hear human rights complaints, such as a commission or tribunal. So perhaps you should go there if you feel that your Canadian charter rights are being violated. Not like with Dr. Bonnie Henry. I don't know how many death threats she's received because of the restrictions she's recommended be imposed, but she's received death threats, and it wouldn't surprise me that Dr. Hinshaw has received the same.
I'm sure she has. I'm positive she has. So yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, and this is the problem. These people rally behind this shit, and they think it's normal.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not. This is not normal behavior.
There's nothing wrong with protesting and going out there and getting your voice heard, but threatening someone, that's a problem. Like that is again,
a huge problem.
That resorts again to childish insults and schoolyard bullying, which should not be present in modern day adult conversations that are supposed to be rational. But we don't live in rational times, apparently.
Not really at all anymore. We don't. And it's this the whole everybody being still on corner locked up and whatnot. It's not helping. It's helping people's psyche. But again, guys, nobody says you can't go out for a walk. Exactly. Nobody says you can't go play some basketball. Nobody says you can't go play some street hockey. Nobody's saying that. They're not saying you need to sit in your house, like a bomb shelter waiting for the fucking zombies to show up. Nobody's saying that.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because there was something else I was going to share that I had told you about earlier that I saw I swear I saw it on Facebook. I might need a minute to upload it.
I can't play hockey right now or basketball because I kind of got a contusion on my leg. Doesn't allow me to do that stuff. But yeah, and I'll say it again. Maybe it's because I'm the old man. Blah blah blah. How often are you going to the bar that you got to be that pissed off? I could see now, but even when this first started, how often are you going to the bar, and dropping a bunch of money, to have drinks with friends? Do you really need to go? Are you going to the bar every weekend? What y'all motherfuckers need is AA, not a bar to be open.
Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
Y'all motherfuckers.
This is what I wanted to comment on.
Yes.
And this, people talk about the media fear mongering. This is fear mongering. This right here. They've got you fearing for your lives. They, number one, who is they? No, they haven't. I live in a large populated area. I'm not fearing for my life. Wear the mask, socially distance, wash your hands, don't touch your face. No problem. They've got you afraid to travel. No, they haven't got us afraid to travel. There are restrictions imposed. However, if I remember correctly, the Canadian government cannot stop you from traveling, but they strongly urge you not to travel. There's a big difference. They've got you afraid to see your own family. Nick and I are on the internet right now. I can see him just fine. You can do the same. You can call people. I mean, this is not the 1918 pandemic. We have better ways of getting in touch with people. They've got you snitching on your neighbors. Now, this one, if there are certain restrictions imposed and my neighbor consciously decides to break or ignore those restrictions, I myself would think about snitching on them because they are not entitled to break or ignore those restrictions because we all have to follow the same rules. We're all in this together. No one is special. And that includes members of parliament. They've got you getting fat, lazy, and docile in front of the TV. No, I don't agree. I haven't had a TV subscription in 20-something. What is that you're shaking?
These are workout bands. And I am subscribed to Joel Mills, and I do workouts probably 3-4 times a week with these bands. You'd be shocked how much they make you work out. But you want to know what? Even if you don't want to pay for it, sorry, I was just waiting for this and to pounce on it. There's plenty of free stuff on YouTube to use these bands. You don't even have to have weights. They're not lots of money. I paid $25 from Joel to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bands. And I bought a couple longer stretched ones too from Amazon for $20. And there's tons of these programs on YouTube. So instead of going down your YouTube holes about how coronavirus is killing us, maybe you should be looking up some fucking workout videos.
Yeah. Here in British Columbia, we can, at least my gym is still open, although now I have to wear a mask while exercising. Okay, at least the gym isn't closed down. I'll give them that. And I had said before on the old show that I did squats and I was dizzy. Well, this time, kept the mask on the entire time I was working out. I did not pass out. I did not start hyperventilating. I did not get dizzy. I was fine. Like it's not as though the mask is stitched and sealed and glued to my face so I can't breathe air. I can breathe air. It's fine. They've got you isolated. No, as Nick said, you can go outside. I even looked up the restrictions for California, and this because Los Angeles was locked down last year at some point pretty hard. They could still go outside for a hike. I saw that. You can go outside for a hike at that time. They've got you. No, they haven't got you. No, we haven't lost our freedom. I don't care if you disagree. I think you're wrong. We have not lost our freedom.
Again, go ask. I think we said this on the show before. If not this one, I definitely know the other one. And I know this was a hot topic that kind of ended the last show. Go talk to some very elderly Jewish people about being isolated. Hey, here's a better one that I actually do. They're right. Go ask some of the natives that were put on reserves. I want to talk about being fucking isolated and having rights taken away from you. We'll talk to them, and you get back to me. And I don't mean this bullshit you want now. Go talk to some of the elders that went through these resident schools and all this other bullshit. Yeah. And then you get back to us about your freedoms that you've lost. As I'm looking at it right now, I still get to go to the shop and have lunch with the guys. I try to go for a walk a couple times a week just around the block. I can still go outside. Outside is still there. I don't remember the last time I saw children outside playing street hockey. And as a matter of fact, I think I've seen it once, and the last time before that was when me and Rob and all the guys went out and played street hockey and realized we shouldn't be playing street hockey anymore because we're too fucking old to do it. Because I thought I was gonna die. So, yeah, there's that.
Yeah, Dr. Bonnie Henry said, "Please go outside and enjoy the sunshine." Like she's not a tyrant. She's not a Nazi. She's not taking away your freedom. If you think she is, file a complaint with the Human Rights Commission, sue her in court, do something about it. Like, prove your case.
I didn't get up to grab it, but I have a hoodie. I wear 2 sleeveless hoodies when I work out all the time. I have, even when I was in the gym. The one here that I have has like a sweat. It gets really warm. But when I'm on the bike, and I usually ride the bike anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour after I've worked out, I take my shirt and I go like this just to get the warm circulating for an hour straight. I've never passed out. I've never, the these people, when you see their arguments about you shouldn't be taking in this much CO2, you're gonna die. Really, but there's surgeons who go into surgery for fucking 3 to 6 hours wearing a mask.
You know, I've seen a refutation or a possible refutation to that argument. Yeah, but surgeons make mistakes all the time. They leave knives in people's stomachs and stuff. That's not very common, and that does not apply wholeheartedly to all surgeons all over the world. It's a blanket statement.
Yeah, But see, that's the thing that someone's gonna see and read and be like, "Hi, that's true." Fuck. Right?
Yeah.
That's what people say. Though that exact wording too. Fuck. Dolores, read it. Hi, guy, Dolores, stop getting with your titties. Look at this. The internet says that. They leave scalpels in you. I fucking knew it. Fucking Nazis. Full circle. Oh. All right, we done
you
here.
gotta go.
No, I don't have to go fucking anywhere.
All right.
I'm waiting for his music to turn on. Man, I am the old man. I really, really am the old man. So me and him went driving today, and his phone's hooked up because it's his Escape, right? And his music fucking sucks. I am definitely that old man now. I'm listening, I'm looking at him going, really? Like this? And I know my father said the same thing about and I understand that. My dad wasn't into rap at all, but I mean, I liked rap. And I've said this before, like, especially I've been listening to a lot of DMX lately because he just passed away, right? I'm like, he had some great shit. Like not just the stuff he saw in Deadpool and shit, but like some of his other stuff was really good. And like again, I'll say it, Biggie, Pac, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Ice-T, these even the popular ones, like I like Mace and Puff Daddy. I like that stuff. And you listen to it now, and it's just like, this is horrible. Like anything to say, put your temper and put your scent on there, streets, yeah, on. I know I think I did that last week. That's what you gotta do is get a compilation every time the fat white guy raps.
On the Drunken Peasants podcast, there's a segment that they do every once in a while called Cringe Rap, because one of the hosts, Billy the Fridge, he's a Seattle rapper, and he was pretty good back in the day. Side note about Billy the Fridge: if anyone wants real life weight loss inspiration, look at Billy the Fridge's Instagram from about December. I think it's December 2018. Because it was a year and a half, 2018 to 2019. He was at his heaviest, over 600 pounds. Wow. He didn't measure this, but this is by his own admission, about 600 pounds. He went down to just under 350 pounds. And that was doing a combination reduced calorie keto diet. And he would walk as much as he could. And that's, if you want, like I said, if you want real life weight loss inspiration, Billy the Fridge on Instagram. And he's also got a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/overweight. I'm surprised he still has it because that's apparently offensive now, but it's his. He's great. He's really talented. So Ben Pye, the mononymous founder of the Drunken Peasants, he subjects Billy to these terrible cringe raps that fans of the Drunken Peasant send in. There's some terrible shit out there. Ermagerd.
Right?
Oh yeah. You want to put yourself down after you watch some of those.
That bad, eh?
Yes. Oh yes.
I wanted to actually do a quick shout out for weight loss too. So my bass player, Ken the Squatch Theetson, we actually need a new name for him now. So he has started this hard 75 diet. When he started, I don't know what his weight was. I think he said he was like 315, 313, something like that. He is now down to 215 pounds. Whoa. He's been doing this diet for a year. He looks fucking phenomenal.
What does this involve?
Okay. It's called Hard 75.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up right now. But like he has to do 2 workouts a day. 175 diet. There it is. See if I can find it. So he has to do 2 45-minute workouts a day. 1 has to be outside. Follow a healthy diet with 0 alcohol or cheat days. Take a progression picture every day. Drink 1 gallon of water daily. Read 10 pages of a book, of a nonfiction book. If you fail, you have to start all over back to 1. And he struggled for the first little while. He had to go back a few times. But he has lost an amazing amount of weight. And he's kept it up. I was a little concerned at first when he started doing it because I was worried, like, okay, well, if you fall off of this dude, you're going to gain it all back right away and all this stuff. But no, he's been like, he looks great. I wish I could find a picture of him right now with how he looks. He looks fucking amazing now. That day was an ugly dude before, but yeah, just the weight that he's lost is just unbelievable.
That's the thing with diets is changing what you eat to something that is manageable, because if you go on a very restrictive diet that's hard to stay on, it's easy to either fall or jump off that wagon.
Yeah, for sure. And Ken hasn't. I'm really proud of him. I'm hoping I can get him to have a drink this week. Because he's finally finished. He's off his 30 days. He does it like in cycles. So he can do whatever he wants now for the next little bit. But I don't think he will. I think he was kind of saying he was just going to kind of keep it going a bit. So, but yeah, really proud of him. But anyways, what the hell were we talking about for one on a tangent like that?
We were talking about
music
stuff. No.
And music. I'm at that point now. Full circle. It's wow. And I love music. But yeah, some of this new stuff. I mean, there's the odd song here, like, okay, it's kind of catchy, but yeah,
We should probably end the show on a music recommendation. Do you have anything that you want the people to hear?
I do. Actually, it is a newer song. It's from NHL 2020. So this has been always my argument when it comes to games. Like, I think I said last week that I'd re-downloaded Rock Band 4, because I wanted to do some singing. Aside from a few songs that I downloaded when I first bought the game, the stuff that came on the game, I don't know any of the songs to sing them. I've never heard of them. And my buddy's like, well, it's a cheap company. They don't want to pay the money. And me as an artist, if I was like the Foo Fighters, I'm like, no, you can have my whole catalog. Give me like 5 cents for every song that you sell. Or give me every copy of the game you saw. I want like a penny, something silly. Because you want to what? I discovered so much music from the first 1 to 3 rock bands and Guitar Heroes that I had never heard. And I know they don't get a lot of money for the Apple Plays and stuff, but I've downloaded their music now and listened to it on a regular basis from these video games. So I've always said I'd be the first one to like whore my music out. Yeah, sure. Again, yeah, I want the money. So anyways, this is from the band called Of Monsters of Men. The song, but the big one they had was so listen to the word I say. Hey, dun, dun, dun. That was their big song. But this song is from the album Fever Dream, and it's the first song called Alligator. It was on the NHL 2020 game, and I quite enjoyed the song. I was like, hey, and I even sent it to my sister because it's a female singer. It's like, hey, this is for Reese. You should check it out. I quite enjoyed the song. So yeah, Fever Dream. There's the album. It's got an eye on the front of it and a pink album cover. Song is Alligator. What about you, Alex?
I put Of Monsters and Men in the ticker. I hope that's correct.
It is Of Monsters and Men. Yep, you are correct, sir.
Nice. So, of course, I'm going to recommend a metal song. And
can't wait for it.
Yeah. So this band I discovered last year. How I have no idea. I listened to random metal from YouTube, like compilations or albums that I can find. And there's a recommendation from Chad. I liked your last recommendation, Chad. It was really good. It was different. So this band I'm going to recommend, this is a subgenre of metal. Of course.
I'm already excited. Like,
It's called sludge slam. That's the genre of metal. And the band is named after I want to say it's a chemical, and I can't remember what the characteristics of the chemical are, but I will put it on the ticker. The band's name is diphenylchlorozine. Yeah, it's a mouthful. It's not like autonomous. You need a bit higher of a reading comprehension to pronounce that one.
No shit.
The song is called Scavenging the Putrid Remains. It's the first song. I think it's the first song off their, I think it's their only album to date. I could be wrong, but I like it. And I like it because it's not extremely fast, but it's hard hitting. And of course, the lyrics, you can't understand.
There they are.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. It's just another bunch of, which is fine. I mean,
which is fine.
Yeah. I can't listen to Britney Spears or Whitney Houston when I'm working out. It doesn't make sense. So that's why I have stuff like this.
Ooh, I do have another one you may like. Maybe this would get order. Gosh, I can't even remember the name of the guy because like Mills was playing the gym one day. Ow, fucking leg. Sorry, I gotta get my leg back up. Oh. Okay, it's a rap song from 2013. His name is Zach Hemsey.
Oh yeah,
and it's "Don't Get in My Way" is the name of the song. I like working out to it. And "Don't Get in My Way." Yeah, I quite enjoy working out to that one. And the one DMX song that I can't stop listening, if you want just some harder stuff, is "What's My Name" by DMX. That's, oh God, I've been listening to it like for the last 4 days, just over and over and over again.
Apparently one of DMX's more famous songs, maybe it's his most famous, is the Rough Riders anthem.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that until at least 2002.
That's crazy.
And a mutual friend that we have, Sheena, she introduced me to Slippin' by DMX, which is an amazing song.
Yeah, great song.
Yeah,
great
I love that song. Still listen to it to this day.
Yeah, Slippin'. Fuck. Goddamn. DMX Slippin'. Yep. Yeah. I'm actually downloading it right now. I can't believe I don't have it. Because that's off his second album. Fucking, yeah.
What?
Chris Rock and fucking, what was that with the when he came back as a fat white guy? Remember Chris Rock died and he's a black guy and he wasn't supposed to die, so they sent him back down to earth. Was it called Down to Earth? And he plays he ends up being the fat white guy, and he's in the like black ghetto with his black girl that he's into, but he's the big fat white guy and he forgets he is. And the DM and this truck, big Hummer, goes by with "Stop, drop, shut it down," and he starts doing the rap, right? And of course, all the black guys are staring at him. He's a big fat white guy going, "What? And, boom!" Yeah, Down to Earth. You gotta. It's pretty funny. It's pretty good. Yeah, Down to Earth with Chris Rock. It was actually a remake after a Warren Beatty movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Chad backs you up on that.
Yeah.
The one thing, and maybe we'll end on this, that Chris Rock said in one of his stand-up specials regarding politics is, be a fucking person. None of this liberal or I'm conservative. I got some shit I'm conservative about. I got some shit I'm liberal about. Crime, I'm conservative. Prostitution, I'm liberal. So you can pick and choose from both. You don't have to specifically choose one side.
Yeah, and I've been saying that forever. I believe that Heaven Can Wait is the Beatty movie. I believe that it's a woman's right to choose what she wants to do with her body. That's what I believe. But I love guns. I like to shoot shit. You can pick and choose what you like.
Yeah.
Just be a good person. I think we've ended so many shows by saying that. Just be a good person.
Yeah, love one another. Yeah.
Yes. Gosh, darn it, all the poop.
Love is not what sells. Love is not what gets the ratings. Love is not what people are attracted to. It's always the what's that old saying in TV? If it bleeds, it leads. And there's a great book with that title that I've had for years and years. People are somehow, for some reason, attracted to the negativity. That's the sea change that has to happen. Well, of course, we can still talk about negative things, but it doesn't have to be this onslaught of negativity, and there does not need to be an onslaught of positivity to combat the negativity. We can have both. Love is all you need. Yeah, that was a decent song.
Yeah, and I know this is a huge, liberal leaning movie, of course, liberal movie. It's Michael Moore. Look at Bowling for Columbine. Was it Bowling for Columbine? Where they're going from the different, like, it seems like we're just going from, they say it in there, and that was 96, 98?
Columbine was 2000.
Was it that late?
Or 3? Because
when did the shooting happen? But anyways, 99. But I'm just saying, like, in the movie that shows them, like, the guy says it seems that all we see is this. Because we're going from one tragedy to another tragedy to another tragedy.
Hmm.
Can you imagine living your life like that? Like, that's your job. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I got nothing else. That's a nice long show. So
yeah, that's for sure. Everyone who was here from the beginning, Jen. Oh, Chantel popped in. I haven't talked to Chantel in quite some time. Hope you're doing well. Chad, our esteemed friend who's been there since the beginning. Trevor. The redneck commented once, I think.
yeah.
I think he had his fill. We thank you all for listening, and there were between 2 and 6 people watching. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We should be back next Thursday, and I have no idea. I made the show public. I changed the settings to public on my Facebook, but I still couldn't comment on Facebook with regards to the show. Like, I could see Trevor's and Chantel's comments, but I couldn't comment back to them on Facebook. I don't know what's going on. Maybe we've been shadow banned. No, that's an assumption. I have no idea. We'll probably figure it out as we go along, and if we don't, I don't know. We can always yeah, we can always comment on it on here.
Yeah. So
but that is all we have. How about a list next show, Chad? So what kind of list are we talking about?
What kind of list do you want?
Negativity of some sort. Yes, that narrows it down. Thank you, Chad.
Yes, thanks, Chad. Thanks for that. I like list shows.
We'll come up with a list of lists, like top 10 lists of top 10 things. No. Don't want to get too meta.
We like to do music stuff, and I think we already touched on this. I think we already did, like, if we were going to introduce someone to, like, rock and roll, didn't we? On the former show.
Say again?
Did we do if we were going to introduce people? I know I've said, like, if you were going to tell someone a song to listen to, like, Tragically Hip, like, what song would you listen to?
Yes.
2 songs.
Yeah, I gotcha.
What if we, like, let's just say aliens come down and they want to know what music is? What songs would we recommend? Like, say we make it 10 songs. I know that's 20. That'd be a quote unquote top 10 Canadian bands. Is it really top 10 Canadian? I think we did this already. But we can.
What did you think of WM? Well,
WrestleMania.
I was going to say Warner Music. What?
Yeah.
No?
It wasn't bad. Trevor didn't feel like WrestleMania. That's right. There's thousands of podcasts bitching about that right now. So
I like that. Yes. How to introduce aliens to human music. That's
like 10 songs. He says that, but he'll be back next week.
Yes, he will. And he'll be here, but he just won't comment because
is there 10 is there 10 good enough bands you could actually
in Canada?
See, my opinion's skewed because I fucking hate Bachman Turner Overdrive. There's nothing makes me reach for my radio to change the radio station faster than a BTO song.
Which single are you referring to?
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yep.
Baby, it's ain't seen nothing yet.
Yep.
Here's something you never gonna forget, baby. Oh, I fucking hate it so bad.
You know, you bring up BTO. I think Randy Bachman, he lives on Salt Spring Island now, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but I think that's where he is now.
Okay, so we're gonna do some homework because I gotta do some thinking because there's a lot of music you need to cover. See, that's only for me though, so that doesn't.
Yeah. I'll just choose random names.
Yeah, he'll just I just went to the Google and I'm just gonna read the first 10 Montreal Canadian names that pop up. Who's Mats Nazulind?
Gesundheit.
And Henry Richard and Brian Bellows. Okay, anyways. The Guess Who wasn't bad. I mean, they had some good tunes, but I don't know, it just wasn't. He had a great voice, but god damn, that BTO just. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's wrap this shit up.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. We'll be back next Thursday, 7 p.m. my time, whatever time